In this example, we're going to look at a set, and we're going to look at part of the functions associated with the container class set. In specific, that's going to be find. Now, a set and a map are not entirely different. The idea here of the set is also that in a set, you are not repeating any of the values. In a multi-set, you can repeat the values. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this, and we'll talk about what is happening here. I have my test set is my object of type set that is based on customer. So the big difference between this and the map example we had before was map was strings and integers. In this case, we have a string. In this case, actually, it is not a string. My mistake. It is the key value there is an integer, and then we have a class for our second value there. There's not too much going on in here. You can take a look. It's just name, rank, and serial number stuff for a customer. So the first thing to know is we also do have this. No, I forgot I put that in there. Line 16 is an M-place. That really is a word. That is not like M-bigin, which is not a word. M-place means to set in place, so it is really a word. So it is placing this value inside of our set. But remember, what is the rule of a set? That key cannot be a duplicate. Because we already have a 1001 inside of our set, this Evan Smith or this Sarah Scott, it's not going to actually be able to place, or in this case M-place, that value inside of there because that key value is already there. So just a reminder, that's what this piece of code is here for, that you cannot do that. One unique key for that. Here we are again relying on auto to be able to output, so the enhanced for loop through our container. Now here comes the neat little wrinkle. Dot find. Remember, I did talk about this back with the chapter. Dot count and dot find will essentially return for you the same thing. That is why most of us will choose to use find, because it makes the most vocabulary logic sense to us. So what we are going to do is essentially return a pointer to the location of this customer if it was found. So you'll notice we are looking for customer 1002, but because it is a set and we are going to look for that component of the set, we actually don't need to look for the second portion, which is their name. So all we have to look for is the first portion, the integer that is their number. So we are saying if, so the logic here to see if it did return a value, so we're saying if it not test set dot end. So that's maybe a little bit backwards of the way we're accustomed to having to think about things, but we're saying, look, if that value was found in our set, the pointer will not be at the end of the set. So it's just the reverse of that. It's the not nomenclature for that. So we're saying if it's anywhere but the end of the set, that means it's stopped. That means we found the data set. If it's all the way at the end of our set, that means the data we were looking for was not found. And think about that. The code for that is essentially one line. You really wish you had that going all the way back to chapters 8, 9, and 10 when some of those big beefy pieces of code were being generated around the search. We could have done it this way. I know, I'm sorry.